And
Hello, everyone.
then
Can you all hear me? I'm sorry.
yes, loud
I
and
had some
clear.
technical problems. All right, all right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Welcome to the COTI Developer Community Call for February 5th, 2025. We're sorry we're starting a couple of minutes late. We had some technical issues. As always, when you are about to go live, that's when things tend to go wrong. That was not the exception here. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Daniel. I'm the head of product here at COTI, and I'm joined today by some of our team members, Spencer, David, and Eitan. So thank you for joining, everyone, and welcome. All right. I don't know who is presenting, but if we could go to the
I
next
am.
slide,
Should
please.
I stop sharing and you'll share, or
Oh,
just
no,
you'll? Cool.
quite all right. It's fine. Yeah. So we wanted to start with a recap from our last call. So on our last call, we went over how to deploy a private smart contract. So we kind of walked through the how-tos and all the specific details. And today, in keeping with that theme, we will also be going over how to deal with the private objects in our network. And Spencer will be walking us through that as well. And we also want to start with a couple of product updates, so we'll do that. As always, we want to remind you of the dev resources that you have available if you're building. The first one, one that's great for you, it's docs. Our docs.coti.io site has all of the information on how to get started. So a lot of great quick starts. If you're just looking to kick the tires or use a template for your project, you will be able to find it here. We also have this great AI chatbot. You'll find it at the bottom right of that page. And the chatbot is great. It's a model that we've actually built with all the content from COTI. So all of our technical content, all of our how-tos, all of our GitHub repos. So everything has been fed into that model. So let's say if you're writing a private smart contract and you run into an obstacle, you can ask the bot how to do specifically the thing that you're trying to get over, or how to do anything really within the COTI network, how to encrypt, how to decrypt, how to put data on chain, and the bot will be able to help you with all of those things. Our testnet scanner, testnet.cotiscan.io, it's a great resource for you to view the things that you've deployed. So let's say if you deployed a private token, you're going to be able to see it here, along with any contracts that you deploy, or any NFTs that you deploy. You will be able to see all of the content there. So it's a great resource to also, as you're building, test out all of the things that you're putting out there in the network. And lastly, our GitHub repo, it's at COTI-io. And this is a great place for you to let us know, if we can go to the next slide, please, Spencer, where you can let us know the repos that are the most interesting to you. So if you follow the org, you can click the follow button there. You'll see it at the top level. And then when you go into each one of the specific repos, when you start them, or when you start an issue, or when you start a discussion, we'll know the ones that we need to engage with the most. So by far, our SDKs have been very popular and have gained quite a nice bit of traction. So the more that you give us those signals, the more that we will be able to know where to put the energy and the effort to serve you best. All right, so let's go over today's topics. Today, we're going to be chatting about a couple of product updates. We covered some of these in our weekly updates. So in case you didn't catch that, I'll briefly be going over some of those things. And then Spencer will be walking us through how to write a private NFT. So you may be familiar with all the patterns and primitives that you use to kind of put an NFT contract on chain. So today we're going to be going over the COTI version of that. How do you make that private so only the relevant parties can access those NFTs and see the content? So looking forward to that. Let's get started with product updates. So the first thing that I wanted to cover was the testnet testing. So as you know, last week we shared that we have a new testnet up and running. The team has been busy in performing all of the testing. One of those areas that we've been focused on is stress testing. So what we're doing there is we're gauging and measuring things like transactions per second, And we stress tested with a couple of different objects. So we do all the regular EVM testing with regular EVM objects. So those are non-encrypted, let's say, any token deployments, contract deployments, ERC 721s, and any sort of deployment that is a regular thing on the EVM. We stress test that, and then we do the same version with the private objects for the COTI network. So we do engage and measure the transactions per second with things like encrypted tokens, encrypted NFTs, encrypted contracts. And so far, it's looking like all of the updates and all of the work that the team has done has been very worthwhile. Everything is working as it's supposed to. We've also encountered a couple of things that can be enhanced, so we're working hard in doing that as well. So yes, so that is it for testnet testing, and we'll continue to test all of the tooling that we currently had for DevNet. So for example, the Remix plugin would be one of those. We're working hard to bring that to testnet. So we are just making sure to do third testing so the plugin and all of its functions work well, and we'll be bringing that to testnet soon, so stay tuned for that. Another one of the things that we're working on that we shared earlier was the Metamask snap. So if you're not familiar with the concept of snaps for Metamask, a snap is the method that Metamask offers to extend Metamask with functions that are not offered natively. So for example, like us, if you have a network that has an extension of the EVM or an extension of the protocol, you can use Metamask snap to extend the functionality. So how it works at a high level is it has two main components. The Metamask snap has something that runs right on your wallet. So if you click on the menu on your MetaMask, you'll see that one of the options is snaps, and some of the content can run there. So you are able to write actions that you can execute directly from your MetaMask wallet. Some of those that we're planning are things like adding tokens to your wallet. That would be private tokens, or adding private NFTs to your wallet, for example. So that's kind of the first part of the snap that runs on the wallet. And the second part is what we call a companion dApp. So the companion dApp can then carry out all of the functions that are not supported natively on the MetaMask wallet. So for example, for us specifically, we are using the companion dApp to onboard your AES key to the COTI network. So that is something that could not be easily done in the MetaMask wallet. So that's one of the functions that we're offboarding to the companion dApp. So at a high level, how the flow will work is that you'll use the companion dApp to onboard and get your AES key. And then once you have done that, you can do all of the functions that I mentioned earlier from the MetaMask wallet. So we're working hard to bring that to you, and we're really looking forward to sharing more of that as the development continues and concludes in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. So that is it for the product updates, and then I'll turn it over to Spencer, who is going to walk us through how to write a private NFT. Spencer.
Sure. Thank you very much, Daniel. I'll just go ahead and share my screen again. Just for those who don't know me, I'm Spencer. I'm a developer here at COTI. And as Daniel said, I'll be showing you guys how to create an NFT that has an encrypted token URI. So basically the link that holds the token metadata is encrypted and only viewable by the holder of the token. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Great. So if I were to be starting a project for developing smart contracts for COTI, the first thing I would do would be to go to our Git book, our documentation. This has all kinds of resources for all the great tools that we're building for you guys. So in starting smart contract development, I would go into the tool section, and I would find the hard hat tab. And this would explain how to clone our hard hat template. So this is a really great way to just get started with hard hat development. It's a hard hat repository that just has some free configurations to make it a little bit easier. Where am I? Cool. So I've cloned the COTI hard hat template, and what I have here is a really basic contract. Just for the sake of it, I'll copy that. Actually, never mind. So I've created a new file that will hold our NFT, and let's get started. So we always want to have the SPDX and the pragma lines. The next great. So this is empty contract. So now we're ready. So the first thing that I want to do is import from our smart contracts library the contract that is our private ERC721 with encrypted URI storage. Just going back to the documentation, if you look here in the contracts library tab, you'll see all the info needed for working with the COTI contracts library, how to import it. But when you clone the COTI hard hat template, the contract library comes pre-installed, so we don't need to install it. But what I should do before I get too far ahead is just initialize the repository. Cool. So in the meantime, while that's installing, I'll just make sure that our new contract inherits the private ERC721, like so. And one other thing that I want to do is make sure that I import the standard standard private ERC721 because I need to initialize it. Great. So, so first thing, we want to initialize the contract. So just make sure we initialize the parent contract like so. And we have to give our NFT a name. So as you maybe assumed, we're calling it the COTI Capybaras NFT, and the ticker, the symbol is CC. Assuming that I spelled capybaras correctly. Feel free to jump in on the chat and correct me if it's wrong. Great. So we're basically all set here. At this point, we've properly initialized the contract, and just for fun, what we can do now is make it that it's mintable by everybody. So by the end of the demo, this contract will actually be deployed on our testnet, and I invite you guys to all go ahead and mint for yourselves one of our NFTs. It's a fun exercise. So so what I'm doing here is that I'm creating a function for minting the token. It accepts an encrypted token URI. So the link that holds the, let's say, the image of the NFT is encrypted. And the most basic version of this function is to call safe mint. Let's say the the person who's sending the message will receive the token, and also what we need to do is make sure that the token IDs don't collide. So let's do it like so. If anybody's monitoring the chat, feel free to just let me know if there's a question or something, because I can't see it right now.
Will do. I will keep an eye on it. No worries.
Thanks. So this is pretty much the most basic version of this function. The last thing we need to do, well, what I've done here just to show you guys is I've minted the token to the message sender, and now last thing that I want to do is set the token URI to be the encrypted token URI that the message sender passed into the function. So token ID and IT. And there we go. That should be it. These functions, safe mint and set token URI, those are inherited from the parent contract. So all we have to do is initialize the parent, initialize the parent contract, and in this case we wanted to add a function for minting. Great. So the contract compiled. So everything is okay. Next, what we want to do now that we have this contract is we can deploy it, and we can also test out interacting with it. So first we'll start with the deployment script, and there's a little bit of boilerplate code that is good to include. This is just how Hardhat likes that you call the functions inside of a Hardhat script. Cool. So now we're ready to write the script for deploying the contract. So the first thing that we want to do is bring our signers, our wallet objects. So we have a nice helper function that's included in the Hardhat template. So we could just, that's what I've imported here, set up accounts. So first we import our two wallets, and oh, I'm not sure what happened there. The next thing that we want to do is create an instance of the contract factory. This is functionality that we get out of the box by using Hardhat, and makes it really, really easy to work with the contracts that you've written in the same repository. So oops. So you can see we can get the contract factory. Let's just copy the name here, make sure we didn't misspell anything. So we want to connect the address that we'll use to deploy the contract, and since we don't have any, oops. Great, and just wait for the block to be included in the chain. That, and then cool. So this is just really simple script for deploying the contract. I'll just go over it one more time. So first we create an instance of the contract factory. This allows us to deploy as many instances of the contract as we want. Here we deploy one instance. We wait for it to be for the transaction to be included on the chain. And then we just log the address that our new contract was deployed to. So can go ahead and run the script like so. npx hardhat run script / deploy, and we expect that this will fail because I didn't create a new wallet inside of this repository. So as you can see here, it says create a new random account. So I'll just send it some funds, testnet funds. Okay, great. So I'll run it one more time. Right now it's executing the onboarding process for this new wallet that I created. That's how we get our encryption keys. And great. So we can see this is the address. And if we'll go to the Testnet Scanenr, we should see the newly created contract. As you could see, the symbol and the name are as expected. Great. Cool. So the next thing that we'll want to do is to mint a token. So we can create a new script, mint. We can copy the boilerplate part of this code. Let's say like so. And instead of deploying a new instance of the factory, what we'll want to do is paste the address here. So can take this from before. Great. And I believe there's a different method. Yes. So there's another method that allows us to work with previously deployed contracts. So, and I will pass to, actually the owner is optional. Okay, so now, oops. Cool. So now we're ready to start interacting with the contract that we previously deployed. So if I were to, the first thing that we want to do is encrypt our token URI, the image that this NFT will have. So this is how we use our COTI Ethers package for encrypting input data. So token URI wait owner dot encrypt value, and this function takes four arguments. Oh, sorry, 3 arguments. The first is the plain text value. The second is the contract address, as we have here. And the last one is the function selector. So to get the function selector, we want to call the contract instance, the function name, fragment.selector. Mint is the name of the function that we're calling, and this will generate the right function selector for us automatically. And since it's a string, we just want to make sure that it's interpreted as the right type. And then finally, we can call mint. Cool. And just to make sure it's correct, we can log my balance after that. So That looks correct. Let's see. So now I'll run the script for minting token. What happened here? Pending block is not available. No. There's some kind of error. Pending block is not available. Did I do something wrong?
I can confirm that testnet is up and everything is running. I think that when I've encountered this problem before, it had to do with the inability to calculate gas automatically. So I had to put like a very high gas limit as part of the mint contract to get it to work. Maybe that.
Maybe just by doing that. Oh yeah, I didn't, because I didn't pass in the wallet object here. I had to add connect right here. That's the issue. So yeah, so I just ran it now and I minted it, and you can see my balance is 1. Just to show what the other way to solve this problem was, if I didn't want to pass in a single wallet object here, what I could do when I call mint is I could connect the wallet here. So I could press connect owner, type connect owner, and that should work too. And then we would expect to see my balance will be increased to 2. I minted 2 of these tokens. Great. So that's just really simple script for 2 scripts, one for deploying and minting. And actually, as a little added bonus for the people who have joined, for the community members who joined, I could actually show you guys how this will, how you would see this in our upcoming Metamask snap, our extension for Metamask that Daniel spoke about. So what we'll want to do is actually copy this address. But here we have the developer version of Metamask that I'm using, and I've set it up with our Metamask snap. So soon, when we release it to the public, you guys will be able to download it too. And when you click on snaps here in the Metamask dropdown, you'll see the COTI Metamask snap, which you can click to open it up. And you can see there are 2 tabs, one for your token balances of your private ERC20 tokens, and also private NFTs. So if we import the token that we just minted, say address, that's the address I copied over from the script that I just wrote, and we could say token ID 0. So you could see right here that it says the COTI capybaras, and let's say I want to view it. Should be a button somewhere here that says view. Oh yes, I'm using a different wallet. I see. Okay, I have an idea. Let's add the wallet the newly created wallet. Temporary wallet anyway, no big deal. So I just want to add this to my MetaMask.
So this was actually a great demo of if you try to add something that's encrypted that you don't have access to view, you'll simply see like all zeros or you won't see any data. So that's exactly what happened to Spencer here. Is he was trying to view something from another wallet that he didn't have access to, so he couldn't see it. And that's one of the beauties of the COTI network.
Exactly. So just to circle back to what happened here is that I was expecting that there would be a button here that says view NFT, but because I'm using a different wallet, it's not offering me to decrypt the token URI of this NFT. So what I'll do is I just added the newly created wallet, and if I click on I open the COTI MetaMask snap and I try to Count 3. Make sure I have the right contract address. Something still. I know it is the problem also. I didn't perform the onboarding process in the Metamask snap. I have it running here. Sorry, this is a little bit outside of the demo that I was planning, but oh well.
So what you're reading there on the browser is actually the companion app that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, this is exactly the companion DApp, and it allows us to do the onboarding procedure, which loads our encryption key into the MetaMask snap, which we can use to encrypt and decrypt. Great, so I've performed the onboarding, and we should finally see frozen a little bit. Great. Okay, finally. So after a little troubleshooting, we have the button for viewing the encrypted token URI. So because I've performed the onboarding and because the token URI was encrypted with my own key, I'm able to view it in clear text right here. And we can open it up to reveal the fantastic image that's associated with our newly minted NFT.
All right.
Great. So that wraps up the demo of creating, deploying, and minting a private NFT. I don't know if there's any questions in the chat that seems everybody was following along. So that's great. And like I said before, this contract is really live on our testnet. So I encourage anybody to watch over the recording and mint it for themselves as an exercise. Yes, so it will be uploaded to YouTube, but maybe I should share the source code somewhere, or what do you think, Daniel?
Yes, we can certainly share the non-sensitive parts of the source code here so you can mint. For the non-technical users, Spencer, what would be the best way for them to mint an NFT here?
I think another great way to do it is with the Remix plugin, but if I provide
not yet though, right?
Why not?
Well, this is deployed to Testnet. Is the plugin already certified for Testnet?
Yeah. The plugin is on Testnet now, so should be really simple to work with the Remix plugin for anybody who's really not comfortable with working, with cloning GitHub repositories and so forth. But very simple. Also, if I'll just publish all the source code somewhere, should be simple enough to clone it and follow the steps that I'll write.
Great. So at a high level, then a Remix plugin user would open their project from a GitHub URL and then simply execute the scripts that are going to be included there. Is that right?
They would have to connect to the existing contract. They would need a Solidity interface file. So I could provide it also if once we're publishing the code. I could provide everything necessary, and you can decide which way you would like to mint your NFTs.
That's great. That's great. Thank you very much, Spencer. Super presentation. I think this is going to be very useful for those of us that have had troubles deploying and minting private objects and learning how to work with them. So this is really great. Thank you. All right, so let me go back and share my screen here. All right, so I'll go to slideshow here. Okay, so as always, if you have any feedback on any of the things that we talked about or any other feedback, the best way to get in touch with us is either through a GitHub issue if it's related to a specific GitHub project. If it's not related to a specific GitHub project and it's related, something like today's call or the stuff that we discussed during this call, the best way to get in touch with us is via Discord. We have a developers channel there, then that's going to be very useful for you to get in contact with us. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that my share is not working properly. Let me reshare. Oh, well, I seem to be having a bit more technical problems, but no worries. Here, I just want to close with telling you how you can get involved if you want to get involved, not only from a technical standpoint. So we have a lot of RFP opportunities for anything that you want to build that is related to dev tooling. So let's say if you have thoughts for any tool that will help the job of builders be easier or faster, we welcome you to apply. You can find the RFPs and the Builders Program info at build.coti.io, and it'll have all the information and links that you would need to use. So as I was saying, not only from a technical standpoint, if you have, for example, content, videos, or technical walkthroughs, or any other content that you think will help the community, we're also interested in that type of content. So through our grants program, we would be able to help fund the cost for that effort. So be sure to check it out and submit your ideas there. All right, so I think we don't have any questions on the chat. I think the ones we had been answered prior. We had a couple of questions around the snap. So the snap, we're planning to release it to be used on Testnet, and then once mainnet is released, then you will be able to use it on mainnet as well. And you can check out some of the snap functionality on the Metamask site that we dropped on the chat. And apart from that, thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, and stay COTI. Bye.